Hello there. Unless we leave the Common Fisheries Policy immediately on Brexit Day, our UK fishing industry may never recover. Those who wish us to stay in the EU or to allow our fishermen to be used as bargaining chips in the Brexit negotiations should take heed of this. In a slamming indictment of the EU Common Fisheries Policy, the founding member of Fishing for Leave, Alan Hastings, says that, contrary to a deliberate false narrative to excuse the CFP, the EU did not save stocks but caused the problems of overfishing and bad management which it still fails to address. He goes on to say that the EU system of equal access to a common resource barred the UK from exercising its rights to manage its waters and deal with the increasing power and use of technology by modern fishing vessels. He also says that the EU has every incentive to keep its claws into our fishing waters for as long as possible while trying to degrade our fleet, as under international law, if the UK cannot service its own waters, it has to allow others to harvest them. Writing in Brexit Central, he says the only way we can save our fish and our fishing industry and communities is to leave the CFP on Brexit Day, or we may well go past the tipping point with no way of getting back. Please read the article. I've left a link to it in the video description box below. It will make any Brexiteer's blood boil. That those on the Remain side appear comfortable with this as a price worth paying to be in their precious EU sickens me. Moving on, Brexiteer Tory MP Owen Paterson says that those Remainers that work against the democratic will of the people would harm UK democracy. Asking a question during PMQs today, Mr Paterson said, 63% of the members of this House represent constituencies that voted Leave. Does the PM agree that, should those members not support her by voting for her programme of taking back control by leaving the single market, the customs union and the ECJ, they will be denying the democratic vote of constituents and do lasting damage to our democracy? To which the PM heartily agreed, saying, he's absolutely right. We're delivering on the vote of the British people to leave the EU. It's a matter of the integrity of politicians to having once given the choice to the British population to deliver on that choice. But as we know, the Remainers are actually intent on keeping the UK in the EU, whatever damage it causes. Whether it be political or economic, they do not care. Despite there being record levels of employment in the UK and in the face of huge unemployment problems in parts of the EU, the Remainers are still banging on about staying in the European Union. Right now there are reports coming out of Italy that the possible coalition partners of the Five Star Movement and Lega had worked on dropping the euro, siding with Putin and demanding that Italy be let off of up to €250 billion in debt. Not only that, it appears they want to go on a €100 billion spending spree too. Most of this, I gather, has been dropped, but this must surely send jitters down the spines of the Commission and the ECB. But that hasn't stopped the euro sliding to a 5-month low against the dollar and a 5-week low against the safe haven Swiss franc today as the stories emerged. Watch this space. But the EU's problems don't end there. The International Monetary Fund has warned that high unemployment is threatening any EU recovery, with a possible future slowdown on the cards. The IMF report said that after growth in 2017 and a current favourable outlook, European countries, that's how the IMF termed it, would need to address such things as barriers to investment and dwindling productivity to keep it going. Paul Thompson, director of the IMF's European Department, said, medium-term economic prospects are less bright, so policymakers should seize the moment to lower their deficits and debt and push forward with reforms to make their economies more productive. And at the top of the list of the investment barriers the IMF refers to is the lack of skilled staff. And it says that labour shortages, including those caused by emigration of skilled workers, is an acute issue that threatens to hold back investment, especially in the countries that joined the EU in 2004 and 2007. So, is the IMF saying that the EU model of freedom of movement of people isn't so great for the countries those people leave? Who'd have thunk it? Surely then, all those countries that take these migrants should be paying compensation to the countries they leave for educating and training them. Just a thought. Another point is that while uncontrolled immigration has placed a great strain on UK infrastructure, with all those people over here, infrastructure probably isn't being built in the countries they left. Or why else would the IMF be concerned about it? But at the end of the day, we all have to remember that this is the very same IMF that told us that the UK would, by now, be a virtually bankrupt nation because we had the temerity to vote to leave the EU. So maybe the IMF has got it wrong again, and all will be sweetness and light in the EU. But please let us all know what you think by leaving a comment below. Thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video. And also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.